I got to stop eating.
We're live.
Come on in, everybody. We see you.
Thank you, Leroy, for letting us get on with it.
We have Leroy's permission to begin, so that's why we're here.
Leroy was the man. Leroy was the man that made the purchase last night. Thank you, Leroy.
Oh, thank you, Leroy.
We'll make sure you get your artwork.
Nita's here, or at least she's here robotically. I'm not sure if she's actually awake yet or not, or if she just programs this thing to come on.
I thought she was a robot.
Sometimes. You can help support Indie Comics Network by sending stars. You can send us stars, folks. All earnings go towards the channel expenses and supporting the other creators as well as myself. This program is not free, except to you. And we ask that you consider sending us some stars to help cover the expenses of StreamYard and all of the other great things it takes to put this network together. So, folks, do that. Please send us some stars. Going to have a couple of openings here, and then we'll get on with it. Here we go. He said, scrolling frantically. There we are. In the time before Atlantis sank and the lands of the world were savage and untamed, one man would claim his destiny. Leaving his Atlantean tribe behind and throwing off the shackles of Lemurian bondage, he sailed the seas as a pirate captain before seizing his place as a king. And now that he has the throne, how long will he be able to keep it? This is the Shadow Kingdom, the classic sword and sorcery tale by Robert E. Howard, adapted by Randy Zimmerman, with artwork by Russ Leach. Available now at fundmycomic.com.
Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
Joke's on you, bitch. I love this shit.
Come on in, everybody. We see you out there. Sorry, I'm having breakfast. It's 5 a.m. where I am. It's 10?
Yeah.
10 in the morning where Glenn and Russ are. We're here for Comics by Night. Over on the East Coast, it's only 2 in the morning. So anybody over there, the chat is open. We're very happy to be here. We've got some great stuff to show you today. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work over at arrowcomics.store. You can find such books as Herobot Zero, Paragon, Calico, The Fool, and now hopefully Alice in Chains, as long as our guy has posted it up there on the store. And we hope you go over to arrowcomics.store and take a look, or go over to fundmycomic.com and take a look at the wide range of Arrow products that are over there, including Russ and myself doing adapting a Robert E. Howard story called The Shadow Kingdom. It's the first recognized sword and sorcery story, the one that started the entire genre. And I'm very proud to have adapted that, and it's the best work Russ has ever done. It's going to be a fantastic product. Where, what, 175%?
Yeah,
past our goal,
170%, near close to 170%, almost there. We've got 169 people
backers.
Got it up. 169 backers, 170% or thereabouts. Please, if we could get to 200 backers, that would be fabulous. And obviously, we want to do more Cull. We've got, the concept for the Atlantean moving forward. I've had everybody I've spoken to. I've been on lots of streams, speaking to people about the book, what they've seen so far, and everybody's really keen to see a black and white version. But they're also keen to see what we do in black and white moving forward as well. There's a big swell out there for black and white work, so that's where we're going next. But the book is it is our best work, or certainly my best work. and Randy's done a fantastic job on it. And yeah, just keep sharing. If you can't buy it, no, it's tough out there, but share it out for us. Let everybody know about it.
I adapted the story and lettered it. And if you've ever read any Robert E. Howard, especially this particular story, it took him a couple of years of sweat equity, writing it, putting it on a shelf, taking it back off, and rewriting it over the period of a couple of years. They figure in order to get it right and get it submitted into Weird Tales, it was printed in Weird Tales for the month of August 1929. Is when it was originally printed, and the story is so visually well, written. It literally adapted itself. So very proud of the way it looks.
If you want to read some real English prose, like proper writing, this stuff is beautiful to read. It really is.
Prose from 100 years ago, just about. And if you've never read any Howard, you really need to. It's excellent, phenomenal stuff. So. Can't recommend it highly enough. But welcome to Comics by Night. We're here to look at some Elric today, and joining me is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name's Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer. I write books like this. This details the visits to Jack Kirby's house, and you can get that on New Haven Press. I draw cartoons and similar things, and this is my cartoon creation Hatch, and you can get this book on Fund My Comic. It details all his sort of life, as it were, how he came to be, and it's got lots of artwork in it, all published and unpublished. You can get that on Fund My Comic. And just out now is issue 15 of Comics Unlimited, which is a magazine I publish every so often. It's about 100 pages. It's all about comics, so check it out. That's on Amazon, by the way.
Amazon. Just look up Glenn Fleming. 2 N's, 2 M's.
1 M.
1 M, 2 N's, 1 M.
Yeah.
Glenn Fleming. And you'll see the wide variety of books that Glenn has published. Also joining us is Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, introduce yourself.
Hi there, my name's Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. You can find out more about me at russleach.com. Please sign up for the email list so that I can keep everybody abreast of the current projects that I'm working on. I've been around, worked on some Batman, on some Marvel, on some Doctor Who, bits and pieces. You can pick up the whole collection of Batman art over at remitterman.com. That's now a collection over there. I think he's yet to put it up, but that's where it's going to be. Otherwise, keep your eyes peeled on the email list, as original pieces of art will be available to buy soon. But you can already get original pieces of art over at Fund My Comic on the Shadow Kingdom campaign, where you can pick out pages and splash pages. Unfortunately, the cover's gone, but there are still bargains to be had, and also I can do sketches for you as well, all the time, including a wonderful book that we put together. So you can find all that out at russleach.com.
There we are. It's Elric today, folks. Elric, adapted by Roy Thomas. Initial artwork by P. Craig Russell and Michael T. Gilbert. And then if we can get over to Salor on the Sea of Fate, which I think we can today. Artwork on that is by Michael T. Gilbert and George Freeman. So Rad Arts and Comics says good morning. Good morning, or at least GM. GM around here, that's a car company. But Alice in Chains, they are the reason I learned to play the guitar. Leroy, no, this is Allison Chains. It's the comic of a girl who breaks herself out of her test tube and ravages the lab that she was born in order to escape and find freedom, while at the same time she can shoot chains out of the palm of her hand.
Shoot.
So, shoot. Art Victim, 5 a.m. here in Detroit as well. Hello, all. I hope y'all the best morning. Hope y'all the best morning.
Art Victim. Yeah.
I'm here in Flint, Art Victim, just barely south of Flint in Burton. So that's where our show is coming from today. Hello, gentlemen, from Dave. Dave in the house. Happy to see you here, Dave. Real happy you're here. It says, I'm disappointed Russ did not address his excitement over the Yankees 6-1 start this season.
I was just embarrassed because, I screamed a lot. Sorry, Leroy.
Are we talking baseball?
Apparently.
Well,
allegedly.
My daughter is an incredible Detroit Tigers fan and now wants everybody to know that they are undefeated so far this season.
Woohoo.
So, woohoo. Hey, Dave from Leroy, Genuine Comics says, hello, Leroy. How are you today? All right. Elric, folks. Leroy says, can't complain, Dave. All right. Elric of Melibone.
Melibone.
Melibone. Exactly.
Mana.
Yeah. Melibone. Yeah. Anyway. Melibone. Michael Moorcock. There we are. This is where we left off.
Right.
The ship which sails over land and sea.
That left-hand page there. That's it's reminiscent of like Boy's Own and stuff. It's
Yeah, I know what you mean.
do you know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
I suppose it's the round panel, but
It's great, huh?
yeah,
Love it.
very adventure.
I don't like the colouring, but
No, I'm not keen on colouring, but
We went over that
pages
last
great.
week. Yeah, just a little garish. It picks up better in the second volume. So, nice little shot here. Great ship.
what's it doing going through the trees?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like it's docked here, going down a river.
It's just close to the shore.
That's what it is.
It's adventure. It's got wheels as well. It's a shipboat.
It's a shipboat.
Shipboat car lorry thing.
It's a fantasy story. Anything can happen.
That's
A
right.
shipboat with a P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shipboat. It's great
Could
on
be a
land. It's rubbish on sea.
shipboat.
Shipboat.
Floating head.
Yay.
Yay.
I love that
We were-
helmet.
Yeah, helmet's great, isn't it?
We were talking quite a bit about Russell's work last week. So.
Mm.
Yeah, we said it's like Barry Smith, wasn't it? With long noses and long faces.
Yeah.
But not as good.
It's very, very tender stuff.
Yeah, this colouring is not good at all, is it?
No, but at the time, it was the best.
Wow.
So long before Photoshop came in and muddied everything out.
Photoshop.
We still have those garish colors from just like Marvel ran through that entire period there for 4 or 5 years of garish plastic plates.
Yeah.
Just horrible, loud color. Almost eye bleeding. Nice chin.
That's a chin, all right. You could open a beer bottle with that.
At least it can.
This is adapted by Roy Thomas, you say?
Roy Thomas, yes.
Yeah.
Recently awarded somewhat creative rights. For,
Yes, yeah, I read about that.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, well.
Somebody pulled a string there.
Somebody offered him some money.
It'd be nice for Roy.
Yeah.
I think somebody offered Marvel a little bit of compensation. I was editor on the project. That's what really throws me is Wolverine was really a throwaway character. He was just made by accident. Just like Howard the Duck started out completely by accident, needed something to fill a page. Here you go. Needed something to fill an issue, and they just had Hulk fight a big monster, so they had him fight a smaller superhero.
It was on his way to Wendigo, apparently.
He had just fought Wendigo.
And
yeah.
he just fought Wendigo, and he was on to fight something else that was big.
And
they
he was
wanted
up
to
in
shove
Canada.
they wanted to shove something in between.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
And Wolverine just turned up.
What are we gonna design? Oh, holy crap! Well, let's do a super villain that thinks he's a superhero and call him a Wolverine. Yeah.
And apparently, is it some college team or something with yellow and blue?
We'll dress him up like a tiger. It'll be great. Anyway, and what are we going to color the costume? Well, U of M, University of Michigan,
Yeah.
mascot's the Wolverine, and their colors are maize and blue, yellow and blue.
Yeah, there you go. That'll do.
So there you go. That's what it was. So he didn't get his other Earth Tone costume until well into the X-Men run.
Yeah, he got the earth tone, the sort of the reddish one in the 90s, didn't he? When Jim Lee took over.
Yeah, he did, but there was an Earth Tone one he ended up getting. He got out into outer space, I think, had his clothes ripped off, and had to have a new costume.
Normally, I have to say, it is a hazard. Normally, when I go to outer space, my clothes just get ripped off.
Just seems to happen.
I find that when I walk down the street.
Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? Sorry, Ossifer. No, I haven't been drinking. And no, they just fell off.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it took them a couple of issues into X-Men, which was part of the fun of reading that title when it was first coming out. At Giant Size X-Men, again, was an accident. A group of characters thrown together. They wanted an international team. Cockrum had the designs for Colossus, Storm, and Nightcrawler sitting in his book from his stint on Legion of Superheroes. At least that's the legend.
Right.
And that's why Nightcrawler teleported, storm-controlled weather, and Colossus had impenetrable skin, because anybody in the Legion of Superheroes had to have a unique superpower.
Right.
In order to be part of the Legion.
But the
so he added them, and he Xavier rolls to Ireland and then Canada and Japan and picks up Banshee, Wolverine, and Sunfire. Yeah.
Yeah, Banshee and his accents.
Yeah.
That's great. The theory is that Marvel are doing this in some way so that they can get house editorial staff to be given some kind of credit for every character. And that way Marvel owns every character.
Is that what that is?
That's the theory. The theory that's doing the rounds is that Roy Thomas, being a staffer, being a staff editor, would be working for and on behalf of the company, Marvel, so that if you give him some of the rights to Wolverine, because he was on the book, because he was the editor of the book, then pretty much every editor on any book that was a staff editor at the time for Marvel, then Marvel presumably has the rights to every character that was created. So you effectively, it's a way of edging creators out of the mix,
farther out of the royalty payments.
Yeah, you wouldn't have you wouldn't
bet against that theory, would you?
No.
Nope.
You wouldn't have freelance editors, would you?
Nope.
So
basically,
Archie Goodwin and all those people would all be classed as right.
Yeah, so they weren't. There's none of this. So the problem that Kirby and what Neil Adams was approaching as well, this whole work for hire thing, but at the same time you have some kind of creative rights to what you're doing. That's completely sidestepped, isn't it? Or at the very least, it's mitigated to tiny amounts, because you can say, oh well, our editor who worked for us at the time, they had creative control.
Well, wasn't Roy Thomas editor-in-chief at one point?
Yeah.
Yes, so, I mean, it depends how far you take it. Editor-in-chief, it's like, oh, well, I created everything. But I worked for Marvel, so Marvel owns the lot.
But how does that work if, let's say, for argument's sake, that first of all, Stan Lee was the editor, then Roy Thomas, then Gary Friedrich and people like that?
It doesn't matter as long as they're employed. I think that's the route. It's like, if you're a staffer and you were on that book, now that book is out. Now that character is ours in that book. I mean, that's the theory. It's not my theory. It's just what I've heard.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't bet against it, to be honest.
Either that or Roy just wanted more money.
Yeah, but if Roy could get a rather nice payout, because they wouldn't be paying anybody else out, would they?
Yeah.
And
not only that, but Roy created a whole ton of characters himself. So I don't know why they're wanting to give him more money.
No, but if they were to, the thing
no
is,
offense to Roy, but
no, none. But it would if he did create those characters for hire as a writer, then it would mitigate his claim to them, because the claim would be that the editor would have at least a portion of the claim, and the editor is Marvel for all intents and purposes.
Anyway,
it was shenanigans. I have to say, when I heard it, I thought shenanigans. There's something going on there.
yeah.
Yeah. Rad Art and Comics says, I like Elric's cat.
Meow.
Yeah, yeah. Leroy says, I think it was based on West Virginia Gold and Blue. Nobody cares about Michigan. Yeah. X-Men number 139, 1980, his first brown suit. There we are. 139.
Comics.
And it took them, they did Giant Size 1, and then they started with 94. X-Men 94. It took him till like 96 or 97 for him to pop his claws out of his bare hand instead of his gloved hand. So that had a big effect on me when I was a kid, because they were fighting Sentinels, and they had stripped Wolverine, and they were questioning whether or not he was actually a mutant, because at that point they were thinking they were going to make him a mutated Wolverine instead of a mutated human. And they says, well, his are you sure this guy's a mutant? He says, well, the Sentinels say he is, so he is. And then he tears himself out of his shackles by popping his claws and cutting his way out. And Banshee freaks and goes, laddie, whatever Begora or whatever explain that they have him say.
Begora.
You never told us the claws were actually a part of you. And he turns to him all mean looking, like Wolverine was really bitter back during that period. Excellently so, by the way, just incredibly well written. And he goes, you never asked me.
which translates as, I haven't thought of that before.
Yeah, exactly.
I've just made that up.
They made up all of that as they were going along. They didn't know it was good that Giant Size 1 would be the success that it was. They just wanted to try new X-Men characters because they were reprinting the Werner Roth material at that point, and the reprints were selling bigger than the originals did back when they were first released at the stands. So they're like, oh, maybe we should try X-Men with new material. Well, maybe we should try a new team.
I think that's where the argument falls flat. I mean, so many people look at modern comics and they look at the older comics and go, oh, well, there was this thought in there and this and that, and it was planned. And they were all just produced by really creative, talented people.
Mass-produced on a very hard deadline.
And a very hard deadline. So they made stuff, and sometimes it did work, sometimes it did, but there was such a volume, and they were doing it so frequently and so well that you ended up with a continuity, and you ended up with a continual flow of quality product.
They had a solid formula down for working out those issues, and that's because of the Marvel method. The artists were pretty much plotting the entire tale out, and the writers were doing a basic outline and then filling in dialogue, like what Stan did way back when. I'm going to turn this page.
Oh, anyway. That's different.
Boom.
Treebeard. Look at that. Like that.
I want my ship.
That's one of the best pages I've seen so far. That's great.
That really screams Michael T. Gilbert here, too. This whole page does. Very much in his style. It's more Gilbert there than Russell.
Is that left-hand page, bottom last panel is homage to Hakusai?
Oh, yeah. The wave, yeah.
Yep.
So that ship is moving along the ground?
Yeah, must be.
It's a land ship.
Wow. And do you know, I never used to read Elric, and I wonder why. I want my ship.
I want my ship. Yep. I've never read the Elric books either, except for the comics.
Yeah, it is a little bit like King Crypt. Leroy. Yeah.
It's been decades since I've read the comics.
Groot. I am Groot.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm drawing an issue of King Cryptid, actually, for Alterna.
Oh, cool.
Great.
Yeah. I think I've got to do that in June.
How many pages?
I think it's like a 24 pages.
Full book. A full book, then.
Yeah, full book.
It's an issue. Yeah, it's an issue.
Fantastic.
Rad says, I have a Roy Thomas signature on a modern Wolverine, probably.
Wolverine.
CGC, yeah.
Wolverine book.
They also reprint old stories again a second time with X-Men Classic Run. Yes, they did. Yep. With a little bit more added stuff in the front and back. Looks a little like King Cryptid. Yep. Groot. That too. Tree Ent from Tolkien.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a ship there. Looks like it's traveling through the desert.
So these ships, are they on the sea there, or are they flying on that long panel?
Left-hand panel, right.
And now the ship is moving again slowly toward the last short voyage it will ever make on land. They're on land here.
Yeah, the picture on the underneath that on the left with the tall spot.
Yeah.
That's it.
Are they flying or are they in the water?
This
They
is
look
water
like they're
here.
in the water. Yeah, because are there reflections?
Looking down on his splendid captured fleet from the next house in the Droskem, Prince Tycoon is pleased indeed. Is not our armada a wonderful thing, Sir Moyle? Sir Moyle? Apparently that's
yeah.
Elric's lover there as a dead corpse. Yeah.
Oh dear.
As an animated corpse.
She's yeah, that's not very nice, is it?
Nope.
The rat's moving in. Lunchtime.
Ships. Yeah, yeah, lunchtime.
Yeah.
Corpse.
You are insane, Tycoon.
Oh my word.
Whoops.
Who's done the lettering on this? Is it that Zakowski or something? Is he called? Is it? What's his name?
Tom Barjakowski?
I can't remember how you say it.
I believe it's Barjakowski.
It's Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc.
Right. Go to the beginning of this chapter. The lettering was on that circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is it. If you go to the beginning of this chapter, you'll see his name is on the circle thing.
Yeah, with the ship.
At the top.
There you go.
Where is it? Is it
Right.
Colors?
Gilbert.
Or
Gilbert.
Yeah. Or Jakowski, yeah.
Yeah, right.
ORZ. Yep. Or Torts.
Well, she obviously lifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bizarre choice.
You'll love me soon, you'll see.
Yeah. Throwing a goblet at her.
I don't like this artwork at all, I have to say. I'm not
It's not doing it for me.
Yeah. Well, outside of the coloring.
I bet it would look better in black and white. Yeah,
it probably would.
I think the coloring is a little disjointed.
Well, it's
garish.
Exactly. Yep, it's that Van Gogh panel on the bottom right.
Yeah, he was talking about where she was sitting with the previous page. Sorry, the panel we picked out with the rats. That one, bottom right there. That's what he was talking about, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
It's Elric. You see his helmet there. What?
He's a strange looking fella.
There he comes. Yeah. They're all strange looking fellas.
There's a lot of clearly a lot of text, isn't there? You know, lots of panels, lots of writing to get in. Which I understand at some points you had a problem with, Randy. I'm looking forward to seeing those pages. You know, and you were saying on your book where you didn't know where you were going to get the letters in because of the artwork. The artwork was so good. So
we worked it out though.
I'm sure you did.
It did
Russ-
work out okay, yeah.
Russ and I went through and fine-tuned it afterwards too,
Yeah.
so just to make sure there was a flow to it.
I'm sure it's fine. I can't wait to see it. Is that a guy's head there at the top? Isn't it?
Where? Oh, he's chopped
Top-
the head off, yeah.
Top left.
Badonk.
Yep.
Off it comes.
Oh,
Schwank.
Bonk, bonk, bonk.
What is that? A screech? Screwers.
It looks, is that a
Screek.
mirror?
Screekoo.
Or-
yeah, it's a funny name that.
Creek. It's a creek. As the mirror of memory is turned to focus upon the streets below.
Hmm?
It's a creek. They're turning the mirror of memory.
Ah, so they turn it.
And apparently it's got something to do with the gaze because he's got a Elric's got a blindfold over his face, over his eyes.
He's Black Bolt.
Glenn is right. My guy, Eric Weathers, would have a fit. Yeah.
I met Michael Moorcock at Odyssey 7. He was doing a signing. I think I was the only person in the store that didn't buy one of his books.
Oh, yeah.
He kept looking at me. I thought, well, there you go. I bet they had some fun drawing that cloak with those diamonds on.
The checkerboard
Yeah.
design. Yeah, it stands out.
I thought this woman was dead.
Well, I think the whole point is Elric's trying to rescue her corpse in order to in order to bring her back.
Right.
And Tycoon there has
So it's his
animated
girl.
He's talking to her. Yeah,
Right.
that's his girl. Yeah, it's a tragic love story.
Right. And J. John Jameson in the centre panel down the right.
Got a bit of a
With
goatee there.
that quirky
Get me
Ditko
pictures
hair.
of Elric.
Yeah.
I have a goatee to cover up my pointed chin because everybody else has a pointed chin. Clang, clang, clang. Kind of cool. Wish that was bigger though. A lot of story.
Yeah, I like the way those last 5 panels are done. Yeah,
Oh, that's nice. Look at that. That's good and unusual.
breaking glass.
The mirror of memory is no more.
Smoosh.
I believe that's his sword talking to him. Elric, writhing, clutching
Oh,
Yes,
Sylvester
touching.
Stallone has turned up.
desperately at his ears.
Hey, don't touch me.
He cries his own name over and over again,
Mm.
striving to cling to his own fevered identity. Remind himself who he is. Got a lot of Ditko look here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
If you can see that through the mud.
When was this published?
1989, I believe.
Wow.
This edition was 1986. Sorry, First Comics. Originally printed in 83 and 84. So only what, 40 years ago?
Yeah. Scary, isn't it?
Yeah. Hard to believe sometimes, but that's what happens when you get older.
Yeah.
That was how long ago? Yeah. I'm currently going through a large box of old material I haven't looked in at least 15, 20 years of old Tales from the Anniverse
Ugh.
notes that Susan and I made. And I'm like going, yes, it's 40 years ago. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want any of this to see print.
It's 40 years ago then since I did my black and white line.
Yeah.
That's all we have to say about that.
What kind of line did you do back then?
We did science fiction and sword and sorcery. I wasn't involved in the sword and sorcery other than publisher, but we did some science fiction. We did 4 titles. We did Citadel, Dawn Squad, and one called Malfunction, and another one I can't remember. Didn't last very long. It was in that black and white glut that the world saw, you know.
Yeah, that big boom there for a short period of time.
Yeah, they were all right, but they weren't the best things around.
That's about the time Arrow came out. Realm, Dead World, well, Tales from the Anniverse, Night Streets, and System 7. Yeah.
Yeah, I've still got copies of them, but I've still got some of the artwork as well. Maybe I should throw it in the bin.
Just offer it as a tier, on your next campaign.
Yeah.
I did that on the Revolt anthology that I did. I had a tier as you were going out the door called "Help Clean Out Randy's Basement."
Sounds like a good idea.
I'll send you 5 books for $5. They're all Arrow comics, all black and white, back from the 80s and 2000s, in between there. Yeah, moved a few copies. There's still some great stuff. A lot of that stuff's still great reading.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're just not the best things.
Yeah. Well, there was a whole period here during this time, 70s and all the way through the 80s, that you had a lot of fantasy, science fiction stuff like this. On Sunday, we're going to look through a book called Future Day that has got a collection of Gene Day artwork of his fanzine short stories.
Right.
That is just amazing. Now, that'll be fun. That's Sunday Funnies, folks, 9 a.m., Indie Comics Network.
I think I told you, just as an aside, I told you that I've got a load of stuff from, say a load, about 10 copies of a comic I did in 1969. I was thinking of sticking it on eBay, see what happened.
I was thinking of maybe doing an episode or 2 of my old Star Lords.
Yeah,
that I have, because that would be fun to look through.
Yeah,
and there's such a variety of stuff in there. There's first Strontium dogs and all sorts of crazy science fiction stuff in it. It's a lot of fun. Back in the late 70s. Slaying pose here.
oh dear.
Where has he gone? To find the 2 black swords, the rune swords of our ancestors, Morning Blade and Stormbringer. Those swords are cursed. But where is he going, Samuel? Yeah.
Has she got some kind of spell put on her?
Yeah,
Right.
I think she does.
So this lad's gone all through this and she's died.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's not a happy story.
That's tragic, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice. Great panel there.
That'd have been a better if it was bigger, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, this whole thing needs a little bit more air, needs to breathe a little more here and there. Again,
he likes those pointy noses and pointy chins, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
That was the cool thing about Shadow Kingdom, is that as I was going through and reading it, it just the page breaks were natural.
Yeah.
A lot of it was almost adapted itself. It's nice.
I thought you were going to say that
that's black and white.
I thought you were going to say that doing that call with Russ, there was no pointy chins and pointy noses.
I don't remember any.
No, there weren't. No, I didn't do one pointy chin. I can tell you that.
There's a nice pointy beak on one monster. So
there's a pointy beak. Yes, gotta love a bit of a pointy beak.
Exactly.
But no pointy chins. Yeah. I'm just going through and checking now, just in case.
Go through and count the pointy chins,
just in case one slipped in without me thinking about it.
See that candle there on that right-hand page at the top? That's a real eerie candle, isn't it? No, on the other side, the candle at the top.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
it's a real. That guy what's he called? The ghoul. The guy who introduces the stories.
That's a Wrightson candle. Yeah.
Yeah, he has that candle.
Great. Graham Ingalls, ghastly Graham Ingalls.
Graham Ingalls, yeah. Have they swapped the art again?
I think they have, haven't they? Yeah. This is
looks like
Russell. Is it Russell?
Yeah, this here is very Russell right here. To me,
There's
that's
a thicker
that's
line
very
on that stuff on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the shadow also on the
still a little Gilbert here.
The guy to the right in the black coming out of the shadow. Is that Elric? There's the lighting on that. That's very Wrightson, isn't it?
Yeah.
The inking on that is very Eisnerish.
Yeah.
To me. Yeah. I like this even with the
chin. Yeah.
It's a nice angle. It's very Barry Windsor Smith there.
That is, yes.
Yeah.
That's more like the image on the front of the book.
Yeah.
Chapter 6, Through the Shade Gate.
Yeah, it's like you said. It needs some air, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, even between the panels isn't as wide as they normally do them.
Yeah, it's quite. Quite.
Some of
the
it? Gutters are tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of the mode for the day, though. I mean, they hadn't come up with decompressed storytelling. That doesn't kick in for another 15, 20 years. Image kicks in shortly after this. What is it? 85, I think. 86, 87. Image kicks in. That kind of skews everything.
It's a little jarring as well to go from one artist to the next, because we discussed the team and the fact that we'd all prefer if it was the same person doing the same job.
Yeah.
Whether that be inking or penciling right the way through. Especially if you look at the girl's face there in blue. I presume that's the same woman who, he's coming, and it looks completely different.
It does, yeah.
This has got almost a sort of a classical feel.
Yeah, like a Greek thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that jars quite a lot.
Well, on the other, because that girl there looks just like she's asleep. But on the previous girl looked like she like really wasn't well.
Yeah, not well at all. Yeah. Not well.
Almost decaying. Yeah. Leroy says, I spent more than my allowance this week. I have to go to church to make my wife happy.
He's a naughty boy, yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's that big purchase.
Yeah. Rusty's going to church this week to thank the Lord.
Tell her you love her, yeah. I wonder if he was using reference. Oh, I'm sure he was. All sorts of photo references here. Yeah. This really reminds me of the Statue of Liberty face.
Yes.
Yeah. There. I say it's got that classic look.
Very classic. Yeah.
Yep. And do you know? I might be wrong. This is just my view. This is what I'm seeing with this work. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem to me, and of course I could be wrong, that the artist has had much leeway as to what he's putting in the panels. It's like he's got a full script and he can't make it move himself. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
it's very rigid.
I'd be surprised if this was the Marvel way or the Stan Lee way or whatever. It seems to be, like you're saying, quite rigidly set down.
Yeah.
I
don't know if they'd assigned so many panels though.
Oh, I
Seems
don't know.
crazy.
Writers,
3 for 5.
What are you going to do, eh?
6, 7, 8, 10 panels on a page. Yeah. 2, 3, 4.
It's Roy Thomas trying to be Chris Claremont.
I'm doing some pages at the moment for somebody else, and there's a couple of 9-panel grids, and it was tough to squeeze everything into those panels.
Yeah.
So luckily the writer's quite happy to give me leeway, but it still needed to be done in those 9 panels. So
it cut it down from 15.
Yeah.
It shows that you can't just be a good writer to write a comic book script. You have to see things visually. You have to know the medium. You have to know how things are going to look and laid out in your head.
You have to understand the structure of writing for a comic book. It's not the same as writing for film. It's not the same as writing for a play or for TV. They're all different disciplines.
That's why Alan Moore's so good, because he's a cartoonist as well, isn't he?
Very much, yeah. Yep. He saw everything in his head while he was writing it down. But like the first, and I've said this on air before, the first couple of issues of Babylon 5 that they did adapted off of the TV show J. Michael Straczynski wrote, and you could tell he wasn't familiar with comics. or the breakdown of it. They're just muddy and they're very difficult reads. But he got better, and then he did that Spider-Man story. But
yeah. As a writer for comics, you must remember that a large portion of what you want to write is what the artist is going to do.
Right. Yeah.
So yes, you need to write descriptions for them and what have you, but you also you need to, in order to get the best out of the combination of writer and artist, you need to let the artist off the leash. But the artist needs to be able to tell stories. They need to be good at the sequential. It's not just an artist. So it's as much as you need to give each other respect, you also have to trust each other. To do the right job.
I was just reminded I probably need to change my Facebook page again. Hard. Sorry, folks.
Blinking blimey.
You can come in. We're over on my Facebook page now.
You just can't get the editors, can you, Russ?
No, you just can't get the editors.
Leroy says Russ is right. It's jarring.
Yeah. I'm always right.
It gets better. You know.
I said that to Helen. I said the only time she's wrong is when she disagrees with me.
And even though you were right, you still had to say sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever say that to my wife.
Well, she was on the phone.
I'd end up having to do dishes or something. Nice quick panel there. Kind of a juxtaposition.
Is that door at the bottom there? It's Ditko, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man's been around firing at the window.
Yep. Wasted webbing.
It's holding the glass together where Dr. Octopus came through.
Yeah.
It seems to me, this stuff. I know we're not reading it, and I haven't read the book or the comic, but it seems to me that it's struggling to be adapted. That's just the impression I get. It's struggling. It's like, does it work?
I've tried to read Elric a couple times. It's not an easy read.
The book,
yeah.
Right.
I've got the book here. I think it's got the first 4 volumes of Elric in it, and I've tried to read it a couple times and just can't get into it.
As I say, I only got through 1.5 books myself. It was hard work.
Next issue. Bubbles.
He's brought his duvet with him.
It's a little bit. See, when he gets a chance to breathe, he can do some good stuff.
Yeah.
Here too. This is nice. I like this. Except, I don't like drawn feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
I like
do this.
feet. Yeah.
I don't like the way the logo goes off the panel. To the right.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. Off center.
That is that like a sort of a bridge being shot? Is that what he's walking?
He's walking through the mist. He's walking through a portal here.
Portal, yeah.
But it looks like this on the diagonal yellow on the main panel.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like
he's standing
kind of bridge of fire or something.
That's that portal.
It's the portal at an angle, and he's standing on the edge of it.
Oh, I get it now. I get it.
It's like that black hole thing, where you can go around the back of it type of thing, and it's not there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Obviously, the trip involved him being off center and a little bit of Lawrence Welk here.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Obscure reference. Sorry.
We just ignored it, Randy.
That's fine. Word balloons everywhere. It's probably an obscure American reference too.
Yeah.
If you were my folks' age, you'd understand. Anyway, here, yeah, this logo is way off. The L here in Elric almost looks like a L and an I.
Yeah.
Especially with that bubble up there.
Mm.
Elric.
Yeah, they could have moved everything over.
Is that the cover? Of the,
That's the splash page.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. First page.
These guys like to stand in the wind on top of things, don't they?
Yeah. That's Frazetta, Weather Witch.
Yeah. This guy's almost Nosferatu, isn't he, with his colouring and the way he stands about.
Well, he's very sickly. He's a thin albino.
Right.
Elric is barely kept alive by the sword, who sucks souls, as well as his own. So, you know what? I like purple. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, these pages are better than the previous. They seem less cluttered, not as much text, and a bit more space between.
Just more open. Yeah.
Yeah, easier to take in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interrupted by a zing arrow.
Still not sure about that yellow border in the.
No, that's not good, is it?
It's not doing it for me.
Which yellow border are you looking at?
All the captions.
Oh yeah. Yep. The yellow caption boxes.
It's like they couldn't dare leave it.
Yeah.
You know, where it would have worked with just that purple. Well, maybe. But that yellow doesn't do any favors.
It also breaks up the narration from the thought process, except it doesn't do that here. This is all narration. But here, you know, the balloons are white and the caption box.
Well, if they'd have just made them all yellow, it would have been better.
Yeah, that would have preferred that. Yeah. But you know, it can be done. I mean, I did that in Only Death Can Save Us. So when Chrissy transformed at the end, spoilers, she then had blue speech bubbles,
right?
Yeah,
and the narration, as it was, were yellow. So you could tell when things. So if you went to a box that was her thoughts from the previous panel overlaid over a silent panel, you could see it.
Yeah.
And it was a visual trick for you to immediately know that Chrissy's thinking or Chrissy's, narrating.
Yeah. That one there with the zing looks very Ian Gibson, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. There is, especially with the color, it's very Ian Gibson-esque. Yeah, I definitely prefer this art.
Yeah.
See, maybe they switched over to straight Michael.
Yes, there was definitely where we spotted it. It definitely changed in the previous chapter. It changed.
Yeah.
Although there wasn't the writing was asking you to put an awful lot in it, and these pages, all of them are there's more breathing room in them.
Yeah,
they give Michael T. Gilbert top billing here, so he probably was dominant artist on this.
Yeah.
It's a lot better, this artwork, I think, for all the reasons we said.
I really like Elric once George Freeman gets on it, inking on it. It's just, well, we looked at that at the end of last week's show. We'll get to there. One more issue to go on the main Elric story.
Yeah,
Wink.
Wink.
Very Ditko here. Very Ditko.
Considering, I don't like the sound effect for winking.
No. Considering what we were saying earlier about that Wolverine thing, and this is relevant to this, who is Roy Thomas the editor on this, and will they be able to claim it off Moorcock?
No, because Moorcock has the original.
Right.
It's only if they create a character under under the stewardship of Marvel.
Yeah. So Moorcock is independent And they've
Moorcock
adapted his
is
story.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah, it's like
right,
Conan and Cull and what have you. Robert E. Howard is the owner.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Got you.
Although Marvel can claim copyright over the way that they showed Conan. Okay, they
Not
can
really.
claim,
That goes back to the Howard estate.
They can claim
yeah.
certain aspects of it. So, for instance,
Elements.
we're talking about with Cull with his scar and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't make it. So, for instance, when we're drawing Cull, we have to draw Cull the way we see him from the original prose.
Exactly,
If he starts to look like something that Marvel drew, then they could maybe have a case for saying to us, cease and desist. But even then, as Randy's saying, because it is made, because it's by somebody completely outside of Marvel, they'd probably have a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
So,
And there's no mention that I know of Cull receiving that scar.
no,
Not in
no,
the
there's
prose.
no need for him to have. The only reason
No.
they did it was to differentiate him from Conan, I think.
That and the squared off crown. Yeah.
Yeah, and the crown, and they did that because they weren't deep into Robert E. Howard. It was very much a translation for a modern day comic.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, Conan and Cull became more similar in who they were, rather than the actual prose where you realise the differences between the two characters.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So they had to find a way to make it so that you were definitely reading a Cull comic, not a Conan comic. So they had to do that kind of stuff. Actually, it's made it easier for us because just by the fact that Cull has no scar means that we're obviously not in the same room as Marvel visually. Okay.
Yeah.
And when we take Cull out on the road in the Atlantean, he's probably going to look more like Conan, to be honest. So it's like we're free now to do what we want in that public domain environment. But yeah, they didn't. Roy Thomas didn't make more this Elric. They're already running it from somebody else. But
Conan had already been out. They had already crossed Elric over with Conan in the Barry Smith books. Yeah.
So if you were going to do an adaptation of this, you couldn't draw Elric looking like that.
No.
Right.
Unless you got the rights.
Unless, I mean, obviously, if Elric was in public domain, okay, and we were able to go away and do the story on our own, if in the description from the public domain prose, his helmet is described exactly as you see it, then nobody can lay claim to it.
Right.
Okay. But if it isn't, and this is something that the artists and the creators have made for their version, for their adaptation, then you can't use that because that's theirs.
Right.
And it's a real crazy line that you have to watch. Back when we were adapting Oz for Dark Oz and Land of Oz, there were certain key elements that we definitely couldn't use. The wicked witch look couldn't look like, not that the wicked witch was there. All of the characters had to be redesigned from the ground floor up, off of the books, not off of the MGM movie, or they would be we'd get a cease and desist. Yeah. Certain elements like Surrender Dorothy we couldn't use. But Dorothy was hardly in the books until Land of Oz anyway. But there are just key elements that you had to stray or make sure you stayed away from that were tied back to the MGM movie, where all of the books were already in public domain.
That Leroy's just saying the cloaks look a little bit like Breyfogle, Batman Breyfogle.
Yeah,
it's like
there's a lot of influence.
Definitely that panel there with that you just had your finger on there. No, the one to the left.
Yeah,
the two there. The way that's rendered, that does remind me of Batman.
Norm's work, Breyfogle.
Yeah, Batman. The one where it was religious. It was like Christianity had taken over. It was an Elseworlds book that Breyfogle did.
Okay.
I can't remember the title of it. But there was a lot of that sort of. He really lent into that kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
That guy with the bow there looks like he's got one of those little plastic helmets that people on bicycles wear. Doesn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
little
more
plastic.
More of a cap.
I know.
That's
But
funny.
those plastic helmets, they wouldn't
I
do
could
any
just-
good at all if a lorry ran over your
I
head.
could just imagine him with on now.
Can imagine he's going.
Has he got bicycle clips on as well?
Yeah, I'm going to say instead of kicking rocks there on that page, he gets on. He should say, "Get on your bike,
Get on your bike,
and he should
mate.
pedal off."
Get on your bike and ride.
Yeah.
Get on your bike and ride.
He likes that angle on the face, doesn't he?
He does. It's almost a V for Vendetta, that isn't it?
Very much
A
so.
little, yeah. Love that top
that-
panel.
that's-
I
yeah.
like that.
I
He's only
I can't
flipped.
I can't help but see all of this detail that's lost because of a slab of color here.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
yeah. I mean, he's been very light on it, really.
Yeah.
He's given it that sort of. He's pushed it into the background, and the fact that there is smoke all over it as well.
This pops real well though.
I'd have done that furthest away even thinner than that. But
This is very P. Craig Russell to me.
that's a nice, well coloured, isn't it? Well lit, that panel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the one above it doesn't work at all for me.
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, Coletta did that panel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good old Vinny. And the bottom one as well.
It was Vinny what done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about showing off some invaders, early Frank Robbins invaders, but it's all linked by Vinny. And I'm like, oh no. Oh, what a shame.
You see the panel there with the city, where they're looking at the city at the first panel. The first on the other page, yeah. What happened there was, see how there's got the real heavy blacks at the bottom right on the panel. Somebody rang him up and said that page needs to go to the printer right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I've done it.
Done. It's better than perfect. See you later.
Dropping it back in the inks, thinner. So
I like that cloud. Actually looks like the wind's blowing through it. It's very nice.
Yeah.
This is good too. I like this panel.
Do you think they've had a little bit more time on this one? The other one looked a bit lacking. The previous,
maybe or they knew that they were at the end of the story, or the way the story ran, it was a lot more open. This is the last chapter, I believe, of the story. No, I think there's one more to go. Actually, yeah. More to see.
Wow.
And then
really open panels.
Wham. Yeah. Thing. It's a grunt.
Thing. Thunk.
That's very Michael T. Gilbert here. That thing. The look of surprise and disgust. Even as he turns, drawing his sword, Elric feels nausea sweep through him.
Very strange.
Fire upon them. Pig. Pig. Thing. Snake. Snake. It's like that badger song. Seems we must fight for our passage, Elric. Funk. Fight. What's up, the nose shot? That's interesting.
This
Very
is
Michael T. Gilbert. This whole page here.
Very
Here
strange.
again. This too. That's all Gilbert. Mostly Gilbert here, probably inked by Russell.
Not bothering with any backgrounds either. Nice, and it's making it clearer.
Yeah.
You can see what's going on.
Shunk. It's a splitting headache for him. Don't look at me, you fool. Strike.
It's very strange. But that last panel where he's looking up, that face is really good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Earthquake. Here. Yep.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a nice shot.
Speaking of earthquakes, did you see that thing recently on the news where that big rock hit that car in Taiwan or something?
Taiwan. Yeah.
Did you see it? Did you see that rock when it hit the car?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
No, I didn't see that.
Struck the back of it. Yeah.
They're going up this. There's two cars. It's from the dash cam. There's a car in front of. They're going up this hill, and obviously something happens, and the guy in front starts to reverse, or the guy behind the view that you see reverses, and they reverse right down to the bottom of the hill, and this rock, no kidding, the size of a house, hits the car.
Goes rolling.
Lord.
Yeah. Clips the back end of the car.
If it had been 10 feet further on or 10 feet further back, it'd have been okay. And this bloody rock whacks. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Frightening.
They just had a construction crane collapse onto a bridge here, another bridge that took out a Tesla car. The guy's lucky to be alive.
Wow.
It just went through and squished the entire car except for where he was sitting.
Oh,
Good Lord. So it makes you wonder why we can never get all the politicians into one bus.
because they know why.
Yeah.
And have a giant boulder roll them
Yeah.
over.
Giant boulders. You never get a giant boulder when you actually need one, do you? That's the trouble.
Big construction crane, boat hitting a bridge. Holy crap!
Yeah. You're right, Leroy. This is much more consistent.
It is.
Yeah.
Leroy says, "Thank you, Glenn." He was trying to put my finger on it. Since this chapter is much more consistent. Yeah.
Don't put your finger on it, mate. You might catch something.
Yeah, be careful.
There's still some great stuff here.
Yeah, this is bonkers. This one, isn't it? With a mass with a big eye in the middle, and ugh.
It's a chtunk.
Yeah, stunk. Yeah,
Chtunk.
that'll do it.
Another stunk.
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 Look at the quills on his back. It's like I don't know. It's like a brush.
It's so that people can wipe their feet before they stand on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Comics are wonderful.
Yeah.
It's like Green Arrow's quiver. Oh, I've got a line like that. So he just reaches back and miraculously pulls out the boxing glove arrow in order to shoot it at somebody. Smack.
Where Superman catches it and it just bonks him on the face anyway.
Yeah.
Ba-doink.
Tweaks his nose. Twink. Twink. Much more open here. Nice pen.
Yeah, I like the
Your eye goes right there.
I like the interaction of the characters as well. There's a bit more acting going on like this.
Yeah. Again, that's more Gilbert than anything. Gilbert must have taken over the pencils on this.
Is he only 2 feet tall, this guy? Because in those two panels on the left-hand page, the third panel and the last panel, it looks like he's shrunk.
Oh yeah,
It's rather short.
And on the other one,
man.
and on the far left one, it looks like he's slapping his backside.
Yeah. I think it's
Here?
no,
On the far left,
bottom left.
further on, bottom left. You're there.
I think it's just
yeah.
that Elric is extremely tall.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
Tall and lanky. This is nice. My eye keeps going right back to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, it's good. Nice
Some negative space turning up in that smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite
Or
ominous,
mist.
that tree, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the ominous tree.
Yeah.
Must be an ominous tree.
Very strange comic, this.
Right there. Almost like Hogarth.
Yeah, it made me smile because if you look at that reptile coming down that branch, and then that pelican or whatever it is taking off, he's obviously gone to National Geographic and got some reference.
Oh yeah.
But there's several scenes like that in the Saga of the Swamp Thing, and it's just beautiful work.
But the swamp's a character in that book too.
So, it is just amazing stuff.
Yep. Yeah, more stuff to dig up and look at.
Oh yeah.
Great Toddleben Bissett stuff, just phenomenal.
It's just so good.
Right on, best of the best. Peak form.
Is that the Alan Moore one?
Yeah.
Steve Bissett.
Steve Bissett, John Toddleben.
Who was the initial artist on that before they went to Alan Moore's run?
I want to say Tom Yates, but I could be wrong.
I can't remember. I've got them.
If it's Yates is currently doing the Prince Valiant comic strip, I believe.
Wow.
Sorry, moving through the bushes. Yeah.
We've had some comments on Cull with people seeing Prince Valiant in it, and Rick was saying that he saw Ernie Chan in it. So I think we're going in the right direction.
I can see that. Yeah,
it's humbling when people say that about your work.
Yeah,
well,
about people that you admire.
Also, with that material, there's been enough time go by, and Marvel has just had thrown Conan into such obscurity. I think when Titan gets a hold of it, and everybody goes, "Oh, look at this!"
Marvel ruined the Conan at the end, and they were right to take the license off them.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
And I think Titan
100%.
are doing in the main Conan title. I think they're doing sterling work. The Savage Sword of Conan one, there's a couple of bits in there that I'm not as keen on. I'll be honest. But it's still good stuff. It's still good stuff.
I've got my retailers supposed to be digging that stuff up for me, so because I haven't read any of the Titan material.
Yeah. No, I mean I've only looked through sample stuff. I haven't got myself copies of it yet, but I think I will.
And that book collection we had of Russell's Conan that we looked through a couple of weeks ago, I tried to read the backup stories in there and just could not get into them.
Yeah,
and the artwork was great. The artwork was fine, but I mean, better. It looked more like Conan than what Russell's material did. But still, the stories in them were just horrible. Really hard.
We're going to do it right. So.
Oh yeah.
We're going to do it right.
The coloring's a lot better on these pages.
A lot more control.
Yeah.
A lot less mud. Yeah. I agree. I think it gets better again with the second volume. So.
And I was just thinking that on the left-hand page, the long panel on that.
That's nice.
They've worked on his helmet rather than just black it.
Yeah, there's work on it. Yeah,
it looks more effective.
Elric walks into a bar. The barman says, "Why the long face?" Sorry, different joke. They all have massive noses.
Yeah, that's why they're all pissed off.
Is that what it is? They're all mad because they have large noses, and the pointed chin here is gone.
Yeah,
and more rounded out here.
And then very Gil Kane there in the center panel.
Yes.
Here, yeah.
He loves an under chin
up the nose.
Yeah.
Again, probably more photo reference in use here. That's a nice face right there. Not bad at all. I like it.
It's a nice face.
It's a nice face. One more chapter. It's also a nice panel.
Yeah.
It's not a book to read when you're depressed, is it?
Oh, no. No, not at all. It's a very depressive work.
Don't do it.
It's like the first 2 seasons of Breaking Bad.
Said, don't do it, Ethel. Too late. She already looked.
That last storm. Nice. Nice line work here. Good stuff.
Yeah, you were correct. What you said before. Definitely should have been black and white. This.
Mhm.
The colouring's gone again.
Here, mudded
Yeah.
out.
The very bright blue on the stonework. There.
Yeah.
That's very yeah.
I thought it was a carpet. That first panel.
Oh yeah, like
Here.
down the pub.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
It's a,
down at the Frog and Bucket.
yeah, it's a oh, what's the pub chain?
Little Eichers up the
Weatherspoons.
staircase.
It's a Weatherspoons carpet. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be there in 4,000 years, won't it? That carpet.
Still got some shrimp sauce on it from 1972.
Hen, a den,
Hey,
Schnell, Schneelty, Schneely,
Hen Den Schneely. There you go.
Hen den Schneely. Hello, fellow kids.
Sorry if we ruined that, Hen. I feel my Scottishness coming through now. Sorry, Hen. You're right there, Hen.
There's text in these boxes, I swear.
There is, yeah.
Not just hanging there.
When you go to the opticians.
Are they in his heart?
Can you see the spot?
Thrum.
Oh, that's cool. I actually like those panels on the left there. I think the black is used really effectively. It's very good. Yeah, this straight away, this is better. It's beautiful, beautiful work. This, like this, and like that, the little highlights to make it all look moist.
Yes.
Yeah,
moist.
I won't say
line
it.
work here along the top. Nice in the lettering. It's like he's walking through a heart.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Yeah.
Don't go breaking my heart.
Stop it. I'll go.
We're all going to break into
I'll be
song
off.
here in a second.
It'll send me off in a minute. I'll start singing.
Yeah. Wow, that's quite good.
Yeah, I like that. These colours, the painting on this is definitely better here.
Yeah,
I mean, that a very odd choice of blue for the pub carpet early on, but the rest of it's lovely.
Not sure about the checkerboard. It makes him like the Joker or something.
Yeah.
But it's very distinctive. I mean, you know who it is every time you see him.
Harley Quinn's brother. Yeah.
Harry Quinn.
Harry Quinn.
The Mighty Quinn.
Shots an arrow into the air. He just catches it.
Got that. I laugh at your arrows.
Mortal weapons are useless here. What he says.
Oh, it's all gone a bit floppy, isn't it? Yeah.
That's why I was chasing after the swords. Yeah. So he throws the sword down. Says, "Now, Tycoon, we must settle this, you and I." Not quite as crazy looking here. A lot of line work, though.
Yeah.
So he's got the cloak on and he's got like the armor on underneath.
It looks like it, yeah.
It's a little bit like the Yellow Claw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, I loved that when I was a kid.
The yellow Steranko.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steranko. They serialized that in the back of Captain Britain Weekly.
Right.
So I got the whole run of that, and that and those bits were in color.
Right.
In the first 24 issues of Captain Britain.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was weekly. I don't think it was monthly.
I think
anyway,
you're right. I think it was weekly too. Yeah.
In the first 24 issues, the Captain Britain part and the Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. part were in colour.
Right.
And the middle bit was black and white, and that was and it had grey tones on it as well, and that was Buscema and Sinnott. and just the whole magazine is just beautiful. And it's all on old newsprint. It's great. But I ran right the way through that, and those 4 panels where it was where it's almost like Shield invaded the Yellow Claw's hideout.
Yeah.
And the Yellow Claw, and he defeated the Yellow Claw, and he ended up being an android or something. It was just and there was these big, massive. He had 4 pages of full panel pages of this battle scene. It was one scene, and as a kid, it just absolutely threw me. It just blew me away. Just fantastic stuff.
Could you imagine having that artwork on the wall running together? Be wonderful, wouldn't it?
But
Let's hope somebody has it framed and on display. Yeah,
it's actually inspired me, because in the 3rd book, Only Death Can Save Us, the 3rd book, I've actually said to Rick, I want a scene like that. I want 4 to 6 pages, all one scene, boom, right the way across, all with their own panel per page, and a massive cosmic battle. And so being able to not necessarily homage, but to pay respect to those stories that meant so much to you when you were younger, that formed your opinions as far as comic art was concerned. It's just like it's great. It's
a nice panel here.
Yeah,
very nice.
These are nice panels. Again, we're now at the best pages in the book.
Yeah, they'd look even better in black and white.
Yeah,
the big climax. Yeah,
Stormbringer.
Everything here on this panel is just right to there.
Is this Craig?
This is probably Craig.
It's like whoever it is, him or Gilbert. It's like I said before. They seem to have been set free a bit, don't they?
Yeah,
the artist to just
a lot more open.
Just do it, That's great. That last panel reminds me, it's nothing like it, but it just reminded me of that Doctor Doom Ben Grimm when they're battling it out in Fantastic Four cover. Was it 58 or something? I can't remember what it was. When they're smacking together.
The one that Doom takes Surfer's powers.
Yeah. And it also reminds me of the annual where the Human Torch meets the original Torch and they crash into each other.
Mm-hmm.
In the latest version of that, Doom takes the Silver Surfer's powers, but decides he wants to start an Instagram account and do duck face into it.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's my bitterness showing through.
Though everybody's probably thinking, what issue was that?
Oh, I got a million ideas.
These pages are great, aren't they now?
They are, yeah.
They should go back and redraw the others.
This looks more Gilbert here. I'm sure Gilbert penciled these and Russell probably went over and inked them.
I like the top left panel.
Yeah.
That's just made for black and white, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's fabulous.
It's like a Paul Gulacy shadows there, yeah. More great stuff to look at. Master of Kung Fu's. Russell here. Wow, we can almost save the second volume for next week.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Nice panel, though. Also nice. So page hot. I like this too.
Yeah, good these, aren't they? It's a shame that the previous wasn't this standard, really.
Nice.
Again, though, it's not too wordy, is it now?
No.
It's like Roy's pulled it back a bit.
Yeah.
Let the artwork show.
There might not have been a lot of story left. So
Yeah.
he stretched it out at the end in order to focus on the fight. Show, don't tell, you know?
Yeah. Now, if all the book would have been this standard, I would have been impressed with it.
Yeah.
Because I like this. It's really good. Still not sure about that checkered board dressing gown he wears.
Yeah. Bathrobe.
Yeah.
Smoking jacket.
Hello, my dear. Would you like a glass of wine?
Exactly. And here it looks like the blade is starting to possess Elric here. At the end. See him starting to get a little yeah.
Feels an unearthly strength surge through him.
Where did his hair come from and then disappear to?
Tingles.
What hair?
Well, if you look at the left-hand page, he's
hair.
there with his helmet on. He's got no hair, and then all his hair comes out, and then it's all gone again.
Well, it looks nice in that panel, so there you go.
Yeah.
He cheated.
He tucked it in between
between
this
it's just
panel
like,
and that panel. Yeah, it's
damn
down here too.
Tuck my hair back in. Oh, we got him. Pachang.
I wonder if he got paid for that panel.
Paid by the page.
I wonder if he got.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, what happened to the camera?
I wonder if somebody was dropping him out of the window with that one.
Yeah. Whoa, what's going on?
They've gone blurred.
Yeah.
Oh, there
I
it is.
don't know what happened there.
Needs a little readjustment.
That'll
That's
do.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Done.
That's it. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, these pages. I like these pages. They're good. There's
Yeah.
some nice stuff on there.
Even though it gets tighter down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at all those word bubbles down there. Yeah. No.
What's he called? Ariok. Doctor Strange there with those spells around us.
Yeah. Is that like the spirit possessing Elric comes out?
Yeah.
Comes out as what?
And transforms him.
Sorry. It's a gag. It's a gag. Calm down, everyone.
You can't have a gag.
Well, I'd argue that I could do what I bloody like.
Good.
That was going to stop me.
This character was in the start of the book, right? It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
up and
that's
out
right.
of Elric
Yeah.
there, it looks like. Yeah. It's all heavenly looking until that last panel.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, so you got to be careful.
It's like, it reminds me of the Raiders thing at the end, and the Angel of Death comes out, and she's beautiful, and then turns.
Mm.
Elric gets accusatory here. Pisses him off.
Oh, she's
Oh,
back.
she's back.
Ah. And she looks different again.
Yeah.
Oh, she's still got a pointy chin, though, in that bottom one. There you go.
That's how he recognises her.
Yeah. But there's some nice panel work. The on the left hand side there, where they're standing on the bottom of the panel, a la Steranko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look
that
at that,
actually produces some really good distance. Yeah.
yes.
Nice layout.
If you look at the bottom panel where he says "it is done," he's just restored her chin.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is done.
It is
Your chin
done.
is back. You are now pointy again. You have been appointed.
She will wake in a moment.
I'm on it. I'm on it now. I've only had 4 hours skip. I'm fine.
It slipped though. There though, bottom left.
Oh no.
Silhouette. It
It's
slipped a
bulbed
bit.
out again.
Oh, he's not doing well, is he? Mind you,
Yes.
he's not seen her for an issue, so he's just
I
staggered.
think I think that would be my biggest criticism of the whole book is consistency.
Yeah.
Because there is some spectacular stuff. There are some beautiful bits in here. That panel I picked out where they're standing on the bottom of the panel, that's got an almost manga feel to it, or an anime feel to it. Even not even just the comic book, but just the way that they're standing and the tall, slim bodies of them. And then even though that the girl doesn't look the same, that middle panel on the right hand side that goes right the way across, there's something of
Blade Runner.
there's something of not, I would say not Al Williamson.
She looks like Sean Young in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
See the guy,
the curls in her hair and everything. There's something of the style there. There's something I'm trying to pick out who that is.
It's Sean Young from Blade Runner. Yeah. See it.
Just there's some wonderful points in the whole book. There's some absolutely genius panels, and then the colouring lets it down at the start. And I don't like the fact that they change up the team to do different roles. I wish they'd just left it consistent right the way through.
It's like tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the left-hand bottom panel where it says it is done with the pointed nose and the chin, then just look to the right. It's clearly not the same person.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ear to hear. Yeah.
But if you see the guy who's sitting down on the steps on the Steranko panel, I keep expecting him to be going up like an escalator.
Yeah, an escalator.
You just see him, instead of seeing him sitting there, it should just be his feet going up the top.
But the composition, especially on this page, runs up and then comes down in a zigzag with the staircase and just continuing onward down to here and over.
It does look like an escalator.
It does. Yeah. I'm going up the lingerie. See you later.
There's no roof.
Yeah.
We're awful, aren't we?
Nice.
So is she dead or not? What's going on?
No, he's brought her back to
No,
life.
All right, okay.
Brought her back for now. Yeah.
Again,
She's still sickly.
keeps bringing her back to die, does he?
Pretty much, from the way I understand the books run. Yeah. Tycoon's still there.
Walt Simonson. That's who I was trying to think of.
Okay.
Right.
And then it's
Not
changed again on that left-hand page.
Not sure what that is.
They're kissing.
Is it? I think he's in.
Oh, they are. They're kissing. I see
They're
it now.
kissing in
It
a
just-
bit of a
It kind of looked
wobbly-
like a reflection off of some
Is it-
metallic ship or something there.
Is he
I
imagined
see it
kissing
now.
her though?
No, he's actually kissing.
No, he's actually kissing her.
Right.
That's a bit bizarre. That.
It is.
And that must be a tear from her eye.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's quite well done. That.
Oh, okay.
And look at the guy above, J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
He looks completely different there.
He's turned into Baron Mordo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It goes
that-
Mordo.
That's almost Buscema-esque.
Yeah.
You know, there. It's a completely different approach.
And there's that guy again with his bicycle helmet on with his chin.
Yeah. So you've got that.
Where's
and then you've
he
got
come
pointy
from?
chin. I think this is all of them doing different bits right at the
Yeah.
end.
See the guy on the left-hand page with the ginger hair, the top right.
Mm.
Where have I seen that face on some film?
Oh, that looks a little
Yeah.
bit like Watchmen.
The
Rorschach.
Rorschach.
Rorschach. It
There's,
looks a
there's,
little bit
some,
Rorschach.
there's something else where he's a lion, I think.
Oh, right. It could be
Some Disney
Lion-O.
thing.
Mhm.
Lion Shark.
It's Lion-O.
To the
right?
Rorschach.
It's from Thundercats. Thundercats.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baron Mordo, square chin.
Right. They're still hugging at the end of this battle. You know, I will marry you, Elric. We have both known that for many
Many a year.
Many a year. Have we not?
And he says, "Well, no, because you're dead."
But
Yeah.
it's still think it might be a really good idea if we live together first, just for 18 months, just to check it out.
See whether you can make it through it.
See, if we can do that,
Yeah.
then we'll be fine. Right, once again, art's changed.
Yeah,
It has.
different person.
Yeah.
Look at her face.
It doesn't look like either one of them here,
No,
especially in the inking. Yeah.
it's just, I mean, this is I quite like this look here.
Yeah.
This is I suppose it's a maybe isn't this? Would you say it's a bit more
There's some more rustle here, but you sure
yeah.
can't tell except maybe there.
It's
That in
just
the
different
Elric
again.
faces. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a finer line,
is.
but it's they look more solid.
Yeah.
They look less cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
No, I prefer this. It's a bit Barry
Cool.
Windsor Smith in places.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not many backgrounds.
No. So is this where Chewie and Han get their medals? Are we at the end there?
Yeah.
End party scene.
Nice. I can hear
Everything
the
seems
music.
happy.
Jumba,
Yep.
Jumba, Jumba.
Here we are.
Where are
Again,
the Ewoks?
They're all dead.
little
They're
heart shaped panel.
They're
Yeah.
partying. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
They have their own private party over at the hut, three huts over.
Three.
You don't want to go
there.
The fur is flying. Yeah.
Everyone had an epilogue in a comic in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Nice and romantic here. The sword incorporated in.
Yeah. It's the little touches here and there. Very
Is
nice.
that the girl who was dead?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because she's changed.
She got better.
she certainly did. Yeah. So yeah, it's different style. I wish it had been done in that one. That's my favourite out of all of them.
Drapery here.
Yeah.
Like I say, I think everybody got a go in this last
Yeah, I
last
think
issue.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a kaleidoscope of artistic interpretation.
Is that what it is?
That's
This is
right.
more rustle over here than anything. And again, a lot of story for this epilogue. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9 panels.
Ten.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all packed
10.
in as well, isn't it?
It is very much so.
Yeah.
Very tight. Well, that's not bad here. Low heads, expecting a lot of dialogue.
He's not got his bike, has he, that guy?
He gets that next chapter.
I believe the advice that you get from 2000 AD submission process is to leave a quarter of an inch or something at the top of every panel for text. It's like, have you seen your own artwork? Have you? Nice big gutters as well between the
Yeah.
panels. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta love it.
Especially.
Gotta love a big gutter.
That's what she said.
That
like
guy, the guy down the bottom there, the guy with the moustache.
Yeah.
His head has there's no back of his head.
No.
It's very thin.
No, they just put a cloak back there so you don't
Yeah.
have to draw it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his hood. He's got a hoodie on underneath his bicycle helmet. His bicycle helmet with a feather. Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
I shall be a new man when I return to Melibone. That's because of different artists.
Yeah. I think it's quite entertaining. It's a good book. I just, like I say, just wish the consistency was right.
Craig Russell did the portraits there.
Yeah.
Nice moustache. Or is he
All coordinated
just
through
eating?
Mike Friedrich. Yeah. Star Reach. That's some more stuff to dig up the Star Reach material.
Ah.
Early independent stuff. Rick here. It's all Gilbert here.
Gotta love some pin-ups.
Yeah. I think those were covers for the original
Were they?
floppies.
Ah, right.
Yeah. Nice expression.
Nice.
Like that.
Nice. Oh, I like that one.
Yeah,
Weird
I think that's
eyes.
the cover
I
for
like
number 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
That's Gilbert here. Yeah. It's at least the same layout. Yep. With the help of Graffiti Designs. No longer in business. Used to do some great t-shirts. Nice back illustration.
We're done.
We're done. Folks, that was Elric, the hardback. Michael Moorcox. Roy Thomas, P. Craig Russell, Michael T. Gilbert. And we'll save the next one, Salor on the Sea of Fate, for next week.
Yeah.
Salor on the Seas of Fate.
Woohoo.
Great
Ooh,
stuff coming.
different
Oh,
straight again.
That looks, yeah, this looks the deal.
Yeah.
Very Michael T. Gilbert here. Great, phenomenal inks by George Freeman. So, discovery of his first work was with Richard Cumley on Captain Canuck. George Freeman. This is really his the ink work that I know him from. Is this Elric's material? It's great stuff. He did a lot of ink work back in the late 80s. Not sure what he's doing now. Hope he's still with us. Still doing well. Folks, again, that was Elric. First Comics, Roy Thomas, P. Craig Russell, originally from Pacific Comics. Great independent adaptation. Michael Moorcock's work. Glad you were here to share this with us. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
I managed to pick up issues 16 and 17 of Savage Sword of Conan, which the first one had Worms of the Earth in.
Oh, yeah.
And the second part, which is The Curse of the Black Stone.
Tim Conrad.
Tim Conrad. Just like...
Yeah.
Oh, look at
He's
that.
the guy who did Elric that we looked at
look at that.
Wow.
a week or so ago. Yeah. We got really good numbers on that Elric. Yeah.
And look, this page just...
I mean, really good numbers. The Conrad stuff on that is phenomenal.
just
Yes, the-
unbelievable.
Shag some half witch, half worm woman, and it's like I was reading this when I was like 9 years old or something. This is great.
That's what
Okay,
happened to you, is it?
Just like
Oh,
look at that.
it's just wonderful stuff. And
The artwork on that's wonderful, but the story, the actual
stories.
written story, is just unbelievable.
just
Is it Roy
absolutely-
Thomas?
Look at that.
Yeah,
Wow.
Thomas adaptation. That's right
yeah,
off of a
Thomas
Howard
adaptation.
story. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Worms of the
And I
Earth.
remember this. I remember copying this when I was a kid and doing it in coloured pencil.
Right.
There you
I
go.
love the fact that there was a pterodactyl down here as well. It's just like fantastic.
When are they from? Sort of 70s?
What more could
Yeah,
a kid
70s.
want? Late 70s?
Yeah. What more could a kid want? I mean, look,
Yeah.
there's a partially naked woman as well. Fantastic.
There you are. Bell for that.
Big ape. There's an ape.
Yeah,
there you
got
go.
that one.
Big ape.
That's the
Yeah.
one that was the one that I first had. The first Savage Sword of Conan I had, which was Iron Shadows in the Moon, and that's the splash page.
That's the one with the girl, yeah. That's I remember that.
Just
Uh-huh.
fantastic.
What number
Right,
is that? 7 and
that's
8,
number
you said?
4. That's number
Four?
4.
Yeah.
And I picked up 16, 17 as a batch.
I got to go back and look
How
those
m-
over. I've got
How
those.
many
now.
issues?
I love them.
How many issues
Oh, yeah.
did Buscema draw, Ross?
I don't know. He did a lot of them.
I couldn't tell you either. Yeah, it was a long
But-
run, though.
Yeah, it was a long run, but Gil Kane did some, and then Chan did some on his own, didn't he?
I think
he
the
did, yeah.
Savage Swords were
He did.
handed out to different parties.
Yeah.
They wrote a bunch of scripts and then
I
handed
even
them
think
out.
that
and-
Alcala did a couple on his own as
yeah,
well.
I'm sure he did. Yep.
So it was spread out, but by far and away the most prolific would be
Yeah.
Buscema. And then I've got a whole bunch of these as well.
I've got
A whole bunch of like the color
Yeah.
ones, because I was looking at them for the colors in our book as well, and they're great. And most of those,
and that Conan movie adaptation's all Buscema in that too.
yeah,
John
that's,
Buscema. Yeah,
that's just brilliant. I've got
it is.
got the first
Really
two
is.
issues of that. It's like,
Yeah.
this is just cracking stuff. Look at this. Look at that.
Wow.
Just so
Whoa.
bloody good.
You know,
So,
growing up
yeah.
as a kid, you always dismissed those movie adaptations and never thought much of them. But you look back on them now,
Yeah,
and they're
they're
incredible
great,
pieces
yeah.
of art.
The Raiders of the Lost Ark one is a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Have you seen the
I know
Steranko-
Dune, I think, was all Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
The
the
Dune
and
adaptation, yeah.
the Steranko Outlands. Have you seen that?
Yes,
I
I've seen
not
it.
for
I don't
years.
have it, but I've seen
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
I haven't seen
The
it
one-
in decades.
The one I got, it was the only one there. It's I think it's in Dutch,
Oh wow.
but
But
it is
that's a
incredible.
great
The artwork's
film.
amazing. Yeah,
I really enjoy that film. That's a
Yeah.
good film.
yeah.
That and his detective noir piece, Chandler, both need to be reprinted really bad. I haven't seen a reprint on either one of those in a long, long time. Both of them by Steranko.
Some
Just
lovely
great
Barry-
material.
So I'd say I picked up a reading copy of this for a $5.
Yeah,
Barry
those are
Windsor
so
Smith.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Fantastic
stuff.
album.
So
And then
happy
to,
Dark Horse decided to do that with the Savage
I
Swords.
mean,
There's
look
10
at
issues
that.
of Savage Sword in every book. Yeah.
Look at that.
All
Yeah.
in black and white,
Just-
all on newsprint. Yeah.
And the thing about Buscema is his inks never went over the top.
Mhm.
He just seemed to have this perfect balance. I mean, don't get me wrong, like Alcala's work is gorgeous.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
absolutely love it. But there's something about Buscema inking his own work. And I think the closest to him probably was Chan.
Okay.
Because he didn't overdo it either. But
Saling's
that-
him well.
yeah, but it's a perfect balance. Perfect balance. Just love his work. So I was showing you earlier some of the stuff that I was doing, and that one I'm quite pleased with that one.
Yeah.
Hang
So
on,
it's got
hang on.
that-
Blowing you up.
So this is going to be in the Shadow Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got that kind of. So I don't want to overwork it. Don't want to do too much on it. And so I'm trying to find that balance myself in the work. So yes, it's a magical journey.
It is. Levi's in the house. Levi, thanks for joining us. I was an hour late for the show this morning. Looking forward to watching the video throughout the week.
Well
Please
done,
do.
Levi. Thank you.
The majority of our viewership is after the fact, and we deeply appreciate everybody's for watching it and sticking around with us. You know, we've got some great stuff still to show you. I have 4 of the Elric novels, but only the comic you've gone through here today. Yeah. The other one, the Sailor on the Seas of Fate, Levi. You need to dig that up. That's really pretty.
There's not
you'll
many
see
people
next week.
doing what we do.
No,
there's
even less now. So
there's a very famous one that isn't with us anymore.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, Godspeed. I didn't know the guy. I did watch some of the shows, and some of them I liked, and some of them I didn't. And some of the things he said I liked, and some of the things he said I didn't. I don't know what went on, and I don't think I should comment on what went on, because none of us do. We can see the, you know, what people do, what people put up as evidence, but it's often selective and not objective. And what happened was that somebody left us because of the pressure of the crap on the internet, and that's not what we want, not what any of us want. What we want to do is exactly what we're doing here, and what the kayfabe were doing, okay, and that's trying to be positive about the comic books that we have, that we love, the medium, the industry where possible, although it can be quite a drudge at times, but definitely the indie industry, the indie part of it, is full of energy, full of creativity, and do you know what? For the most part, it's full of great people as well. All right, so just be positive, read comics, get them out.
Really, that's where the passion is right now in the independent and the alternative market. And even the book we just looked through, the Elric book, was an indie book, you know, printed by Pacific Comics, guys out of the West Coast, collected together by First Comics, another independent company out of Chicago that lasted through the late 70s and 80s. And they did a wide range of material, some really beautiful stuff as well, just like Pacific did. Pacific, Eclipse, First. There's some great companies have come and gone. So there's still a lot of just phenomenal comic work out there waiting to be discovered. That's why I keep saying, you got a couple hours, go visit your local retailer and take a look through those boxes. Look through the magazine boxes. Look through the comic boxes that are closest to the floor that might not have been looked through or picked over in years. There's some great stuff in there waiting to be discovered. So I can't recommend that highly enough. Agreed on all. Well said, Russ. In a sense. Yeah. Yep. We can't. And there's so much more stuff coming, folks. There's so much great things to see.
We ain't going to stop.
We're not going to stop. No. And what happened this last week is a pure tragedy. And I encourage everyone to not to make judgments until they've read up on everything. The dialogue on this is going to continue, I'm sure, and get even more polarized over the next week. Everybody seems to be throwing bad apples all over the place, and it just needs to stop. We need to concentrate on the good and the positive and the great material. We talked about some of that today, the Swamp Thing material, Alan Morris material, the Steranko stuff. We've already looked through Steranko stuff. Go back through our archive. We are archived at the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, but most especially over at the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel, where they have all of Comics by Night and the Sunday Funnies show that we do, all archived over there, waiting for you to discover, go through and look through some, especially on the Sunday Funny stuff, some really oddball material, great material, stuff that really inspires us and keeps our passion, our blood flowing for this art form. And, don't let the last week get you down. It's very easy to get depressed and go down a very dark rabbit hole. And we hope that everybody knows that there's people out there for you to talk to, whether professional or your friends. If you're feeling that depressed, you definitely need to express it. You definitely need to talk to somebody.
Reach out, communicate.
You can express it through your artwork or express it through your voice, even if you have to stand outside your door and scream. Do that. But ending your life is not the answer. It's just not.
It's tragic, isn't it?
And when you read Ed's final note It's available over on Facebook, and it's an open page for anybody to read through. He goes through and explains his side of the situation. And, you know, he felt that he was left with no options. And it's really sad to see that, incredibly sad to see that and to see the end outcome. So let's try to be positive out there, folks, about things.
Make comics, read comics.
Let me make a reach here. Next Sunday, or this Sunday, 9 a.m., we're going to be looking through this wonderful book called Future Day.
Yeah, look at that.
We'll give you a small taste. This is the artwork by Gene Day, who a lot of people don't even know. It's a name that you might not be familiar with, but he had a good run on Master of Kung Fu, along with his brother Dan, and had a bit of a run on Star Wars, I believe. And his artwork, this is his pre-professional artwork that he did. Here's a small sampling.
Looks
of
pretty
what we'll
pro
be
to
looking
me.
forward to. Looks really pro to me. And there's a lot of other surprises in this book. It was made by Flying Buttress way back in the late 70s, I believe. I've had this for a long time. I love this book.
And it's a treat because it's more black and white. We love
79. That. Yep, very much in black and white in all of its glory.
It's a treat because I've never seen it. So
yeah. No, I've not seen that. No,
looking forward.
Very
to
much
that.
looking forward to that.
There's some great stuff on the way.
Oh, look at
Look at that.
That's the first page, folks. Anyway,
Wow.
Sunday, Future Day.
There's a song about that.
Yep, by Star Wars illustrator Gene Day, because this was 1979 at the time, and having a gig with Star Wars made you somebody back then. So, Gene Day, great stuff, great book, and we'll take a look at that then. That's at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Next week, Friday, we're live. 5 a.m. We'll go through Elric, and then when Elric is done, I will be over at the Grand Rapids Convention, Grand Rapids Comic Con, which actually takes place in Kalamazoo.
Is Rosema going?
Rosema will be there. He's supposed to be there. So I'll see him there. And that's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's stop by Grand Rapids Comic Con. They call it like a spring trip or something like that over in Kalamazoo. It's a great show. We did one there last year. It was a lot of fun. That's next weekend. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Levi. Next weekend. Nice. Yep, I've got a card for it. I'll show it to you on Sunday. I didn't pull it through to pop it up this week. I don't even remember who the other guests there. I know I will be moderating 4 panels while we're there. One by I'll be moderating a panel with the great Howard Mackey on one of them. Howard will be there as a guest, great writer for Marvel. I think he was an editor there for a while at Marvel. We'll have a panel there. I've got a panel on cartooning. There's another panel with a young adult author that I'll be moderating, as well as, and I can't remember their name, but another artist that's pretty mainstream at the moment, doing a lot of the Star Wars New Republic material. I think it's what they're working on. So yeah, Grand Rapids Con in Kalamazoo next weekend. And I'll be set up there as Arrow Comics and selling out everything that we have available right now as Arrow. If you stop by and tell me that you saw this program, that you saw us here and watch the show wherever you see us, stop by, tell me you saw it, I'll give you a free comic. So, and it might even be one of Russ's. So only death can save us. So swing by then. That's the Grand Rapids Con in Kalamazoo. Other than that, we're back here we're back here Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time to look through that great Future Day book. Next Friday at 5 a.m. to go through more Elric on Comics by Night. So, and we're over at the Comic Book Black Belt, Randy Zim channel, and the Indie Comics Network, of course. Russ, if there's anything else you want folks to know, let them know. How to find
just find me at russleach.com. Please sign up for that email list. If you're interested in anything we do, anything that I'm doing, okay, sign up for the email list, because that's the way I can get to people directly. Instead of hoping that they pick something up on social media or through some kind of campaign, staying with me on the email list is the direct access to the information. Don't fill up your email inbox. Obviously, there's a few more out through the campaign season, but other than that, it's just one newsletter a month so that I can keep you up to date. So find that at russleach.com, and all my other social networks, they're there as well.
Yeah. Chris Levi says Chris Yambar loved that show. I've heard great things. The Grand Rapids Con's always a well-coordinated, great convention. They've always treated me incredibly well there. So yeah, I love that show as well. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, find me on usual places on Facebook and Twitter and places like that. You can also find most of my work on Amazon. And then you can go to New Haven Publishing, you find stuff there. But if you just Google my name, something will come up. I'm not sure what, but something will come up.
You never know what you're going to find.
Yeah. And also on Fund My Comic as well, with my book Hatch. You'll be able to purchase that if you want to look at it.
Fund My Comic right now, Hatch annotated.
Yeah.
You'll find that over there. Folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work over at aerocomics.store, which I actually spelt correctly. Here we are, aerocomics.store. Go over there and take a look at our product. Everything from Aero Comics that's available right now is over at that location. Hopefully, if it's not, it will be shortly. We're waiting for an update on that store so that we can show you books like Chrome Dog and Soul Tack, Chrome Dog and Soul Tack, and my stuff like HeroBot Zero, Paragon, Calico, all sorts of great stuff. The Fool should be over there. If it's not there now, it'll be there shortly. The Fool is also available over at fundmycomic.com. Great fun book. Urban vigilante superhero who fights crime using practical joke weapons. Calico as well. And here's the cover for that Allison Chains book. So go over there and take a look at those. They're all available. Go over to fundmycomic.com and look at the Aero Comics over there. The Fool is there. Shadow Kingdom, of course, is there right on the front page. AR13L is over there. The Little Merc made. Great book. Phenomenal art. Can't wait for that book to come out as well. It's going to be a real cherry package. Soul Tack and Chrome Dog, I believe, are still available over there as well. So go over there and take a look. Soul Tack is a great space opera story that you will enjoy. All the Aero Comics we do, our aim is to entertain you and to do the best work that we possibly can. So we hope that you go over there and enjoy those. In the meantime, folks, Indie Comics Network, take a look at that lineup. There's a wide variety of different programming over there available for your enjoyment. And, leave this, as Luke Stone would say, leave this woodpile higher than what you found it. Leave this industry in better shape than what you find it. A kind word goes a lot longer and a lot farther than a trolling message, folks. Negativity, we really don't need any more negativity around here, especially this year, especially here in this country. Everything's going to be polarized, and we're all going to be wanting our candidate to win or whatever politically. But remember, comics should be universal. Comics should be out there for everybody, all kinds, all types, for everyone. And that's just and the drama is just schoolyard bullshit, Beavis and Butthead attitudes, and canceling stuff without a full story doesn't do anybody any good. Let the law take its course when it has to take its course. And hyperbole and canceling doesn't do anybody any good. And I think this industry has seen that this week especially. So
calling people Yahtzees or commies because they've got different ideas to you is not a good idea.
And you don't even know the definition of the term.
Exactly. Nine times
and yet you go out there and slam.
Just like talk to each other, communicate. You might not like the idea, you might not like people, okay, but communicate with them, because there's no need to go to war.
I was watching a retail video with the 3 retailers, comic direct market retailers, and one of the Dennis Barger, who's a friend of mine I've known for years, says he's at his store. He's got Ethan sitting right next to Mark Waid.
Yeah,
right next to him, because quality doesn't have to have a political opinion. Quality doesn't have to, it doesn't matter what somebody, how somebody votes or their religious leanings or their political leanings when they do great books. If you're entertained by them, just enjoy them.
Is that the Beyond Wednesdays podcast?
Yeah,
I'm watching that now. Yeah,
that's a good show. Yeah, I've known Dennis for years. He's got
those guys are good.
He's got a store down in Monroe. He doesn't sell new comics, but he sells comics.
Yeah.
And he sells all sorts of reading copies down there. I keep meaning to get down there and run through his store.
Well,
just got to cut the time.
You need to
run down there and do it.
Some Shadow Kingdom
Arrow.
to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely will. Yeah. Folks, take care. We'll see you soon. Hopefully see you on the next one. We hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did, let other people know. And we're here every week. We're archived over at the Indie Comics Network. We're not going anywhere outside of showing you some great stuff and maybe hitting a show every once in a while or going back to bed.
What's that?
Yeah, exactly. And in the meantime, folks, take care. We'll see you soon. Couple of bumps and we're out of here. We'll see you. In the time before Atlantis sank and the lands of the world were savage and untamed, one man would claim his destiny. Leaving his Atlantean tribe behind and throwing off the shackles of Lemurian bondage, he sailed the seas as a pirate captain before seizing his place as a king. And now that he has the throne, how long will he be able to keep it? This is the Shadow Kingdom, the classic sword and sorcery tale by Robert E. Howard, adapted by Randy Zimmerman, with artwork by Russ Leach. Available now at fundmycomic.com.
You're a catcher, not a pitcher.
Now on Sunday mornings, longtime independent comics creator Randy Zimmerman brings to you a podcast that talks about the lighter and more whimsical side of comics, the fun side of comics. That's right. Sunday Funnies is back Sunday morning, 9 a.m. on the Indie Comics Network on YouTube. Check it out. Special guests, great comic talk, good times. See you there.
Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
Maybe if you use that voodoo witchcraft on your own trade, you'd find somewhere on the other end of the snake pit. I mean, do you know what a revolutionary soldier looks like? Have you seen photographs? Have you seen paintings? Have you seen charcoal sketches? I haven't seen them either.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.